form. So please, dear experts, use it so we can evaluate the companies. And then we'll come back for some closing remarks. Now I would like to continue with the investors' introductions. Daniel from ET Digital, would you like to introduce yourself first?
Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Daniel from EIT Digital. We are actually an acceleration program from the European Commission focused mostly on digitalization and various aspects of it and helping scale-ups, so companies who already have a basic level of validation grow internationally. And we help both on the investor finding side and on the customer finding side.
Thank you very much for the introduction. I would like to invite Michael from Sabic Ventures to introduce himself.
Yes, thank you. So my name is Michael. So I'm representing Sabic Venture, the corporate venture arm of Sabic Corporation. So I'm in charge of all Europe and scouting on the all technology startups. We are typically strategic investors, funding Series A and further. And that's basically it. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. I would like to now invite Michael from SGL Carbon to introduce himself. You're on mute if you're speaking. Okay, we'll get back to you then at the end of the introductions. Thomas, would you like to... Okay, I see that you unmuted yourself. Please, Michael, the floor is yours. Do you hear us? Okay, Thomas from Inogi Ventures, would you like to introduce yourself next?
Yes, hi, I'm Thomas. I'm a VC investor in the energy space, focused on Series A plus investments, mainly in the space of energy, mobility, and smart city. Only technology driven, so software driven, and geographics are main focus on Europe, basically.
Very much for the introduction. Mario from Novozymes, would you like to introduce yourself next?
Yes, thanks, Victoria. Hi, everyone. My name is Mario. I'm the head of Novozymes Investments, which is the corporate investment arm of Novozymes, which is a Danish-based industrial biotechnology company. Our main focus is primarily on early stage companies, typically seed and Series A, sometimes Series B, and companies that basically will be working on microbial solutions or biotechnologies with a very strong sustainability angle. We look across a number of different sectors, from human health to food waste, to agriculture, bioenergy, and biomaterials, as well as chemical reduction. So looking forward to the session.
Thank you very much for the introduction. Manuela, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sorry, here's Michael Heine. I had just problems with my microphone. So
introduce yourself.
I hope so I can speak now. Yeah, I represent SGL Carbon. We are a producer of graphite and composite materials for automotive, aerospace, solar, wind energy industry, as well as manufacture of semiconductors, LEDs, and lithium batteries. And we offer products along the entire value chain for composites and specialty graphites, and cover all processing stages from raw materials and intermediates to the finished products.
Thank you very much for the introduction, Michael. Manuela from IGC, would you like to introduce yourself next?
Yes, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Manuela from IGC. We are an Italian company. We offer services of coaching and management consulting for innovative companies, and we won grants for about 15 million euro in the latest 4 years. And we are experienced in clean tech, automotive, and new material. Thank you.
Thank you, Manuela. Dominic, would you like to go next?
Yes, hello. My name is Dominic from Redrose Venture Partners. We are a venture capital company based in Wiesbaden in Germany. We are focusing on early stage ecotech and cleantech companies, mainly in the region of Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. Happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the introduction. Hans from Regional Experts, would you like to introduce yourself next?
Yes, hello everybody. Hans Rijkenberg. My company based in Rotterdam helps companies and organizations to find and obtain public and private funding. And I've been working with Europe Unlimited and Tech Tour since 2007.
Thank you very much for the introduction, Hans. Anna from Future Matters Venture Capital.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Well, hi everyone. Anna from Future Matters Venture Capital, and we have previously looked into the IoT space, and I look forward to seeing the presentations, and we're looking into the broader industries as well.
Thank you very much for the introduction. Christian Schutte, would you like to introduce yourself next?
Okay, thanks. Hello, everyone. My name is Christian Schutte from Germany. I have a background of more than 20 years investing in a VC area. I established a 150 million VC fund, or led it for 10 more years. And since that time, I'm investing my time and my own money in venture capital business, meaning I'm supporting investing money in young technology-driven startups. Thanks.
Thank you for the introduction. Richard from Energy and Sustainability Freelance, would you like to introduce yourself next?
Yes, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. It's a pleasure to be here again. My background is in energy, corporate energy investment. My personal interest is very much sustainability solutions, business models, and mostly early stage companies that I'm also doing some advising role. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm looking forward to the presentations.
Thank you very much for the introduction. Marcel from Stitching Bio-Based Delta, would you like to introduce yourself next?
Thank you so much, and good afternoon, everybody. I'm Marcel van Berkel. I'm working for the Circular Bio-Based Delta. That's a foundation for the development of an ecosystem for the bioeconomy. We are searching for startup companies, scale-ups, to accommodate them in our ecosystem and help them to be successful and for further growth.
Thank you, Marcel, for the introduction. Julien from CIMAC, would you like to introduce yourself next?
Yeah, thank you. Hello. I'm Guillaume Fontaine from CIMAC. I'm the coordinator of the Bruac-Entremont Innovation Hub, which is an open air laboratory for water management in Switzerland. So we are looking for innovative solutions to respond to future challenges in water management.
Thank you very much for the introduction. Winfried from Cleantech Capital, would you like to introduce yourself next?
Good afternoon again. It's Winfried. Thank you for having us. I'm on. Yes, I think microphone is on.
Yes, yes. Sorry for saying your name wrong.
Cleantech Capital is not an institutional venture capital investor. It's an investment advisor, a business development advisor, and corporate finance advisor. The partners within Cleantech Capital, they build up their own businesses, and they invest in business early stage growth phase. And Cleantech Capital, as the name says, is focused on clean technology, renewable energies, and we operate in North America, South America, and Europe.
Thank you very much for the introduction. Carolina from ICOS Capital, would you like to introduce yourself next?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. I'm Carolina, and I'm from ICOS Capital. We are a Dutch fund based in Amsterdam. We invest across Europe and in Israel in spaces such as food tech, agri-tech, clean tech, chemicals, and industry 4.0. We look for technologies that are scalable and self-management teams. I'm really looking forward to today's speeches. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Carolina. Leonard from iTech Capital, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. I'm an investment analyst from ITech Capital. We're Eastern European family funds investing in tech companies, typically at the stage of Series A or late Series A. Looking forward to the things.
Thank you very much for the introduction. And last but not least, Matteo from Italian Angels for Growth. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you, Victoria. Yes, good evening, everybody. Representing IAG, Italian Angels for Growth, the biggest Italian business angel network in Italy. We do invest in seed Series A companies in deep tech, fintech, life science, and industrial industries. So looking forward to listening to these pitches. And thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you to all of the expert jury members for the introductions. Now we continue with the pitching session. We have 5 companies. The first company is Drupal. Ramzi is the presenter. And I would like to invite Ramzi to share his screen. And unmute yourself. Okay, I see that Ramzi is still not here. So Greg, would you like to share your screen and present? Dear experts, my colleague Denisa already shared with you the evaluation form. Please write zeros for Ramzi Buzeta from Drupal. If he comes back, I will give him the chance to present, and you can always go back and edit the score. Thank you. And also please write your questions here in the chat for the presenter.
Okay, I am ready, but
yes,
I cannot.
Yes, I stopped the sharing. We see the presentation. The floor is yours, Greg.
Yeah, so good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for your time with me today. My name is Greg Dushinsky. I am founder and CEO of For Nature System, where we make workplace healthier, blending plants, Internet of Things, and furniture. Today, I am going to share you a story behind For Nature System and our plan to bring our incredible solution to the market. With current climate changes, urge to reconnect humans with nature, and Green Deal policy making in Europe and United States, innovative companies understand that to keep up, they need to refit their office space to make it healthier for their employees. Greening office space is most feasible solution to address modern workplace problem, which is air quality, space scarcity, and office bleakness. Our study in 10 A+ offices confirms that almost 90% of employees stated that air quality and workplace well-being rise with sufficient number of plants. And due to COVID, we are ahead of hugest open space reinvent. And I deeply believe that greenery will play a key role here. That's how majority of A+ office looks like. There is almost zero greenery. But there is a problem with bringing a lot of plants to the office to make it noticeable, both in terms of physical parameters and people feel. You need to place a lot of them, which is maintains an office space nightmare. Our solution brings a lot of plants in organized way with minimal maintenance. It monitors plants condition, including self-irrigation and office environments. We track humidity, temperature, volatile organic compound sensors. And this is connected to building management system to reduce water and energy consumption. Here is what you can build from our system. We easily integrate with existing office furniture.
So we are at Green Deal policy making boosted 3 billion A+ smart building market. Currently, we operate in 2 Polish cities, and we have pilots in Berlin. We help 70 companies. The logos of most prominent of them are on the right. We are growing 50% per year despite COVID storm, and almost 20% of our revenue comes from subscription. Now we call it nature as a service. So we go to market with 3 6-week pilots to show companies how much they will benefit, and we have around 80% stickiness rate. Our direct competition is focused more on custom green walls and not modular and mobile green office furniture supported with technology. Due to this, we have 5 times more impact on people. We can bring our solution closer to them, and we are 7 times cheaper. Our CTO previously ran a custom green wall company, and our solution is answer how to turn office greenery into rapidly growing and scalable business model. We are 2 co-founders. Beata, CTO, she arranged almost 1 million of square meters of urban green space, has engineer and designer degree, and is experienced in plants and workplace biophilic design. She runs our R&D team and works with World Green Building Council. I'm an entrepreneur. This is my 3rd company. In my last company, I helped other teams to raise funds to commercialize their innovations. So far, we raised around 1 million euro from equity-free research and development grant. We developed and patented our green technology and validated problem solution fit. Right now, we are raising 1 million euro with 1 VC already committed. We want to land excellent product market fit. We want to expand software side of our technology with online plant maintenance support tool to outsource maintenance process to non-specialized labor, and online configurator to help implement furniture system to fit our designers. We are also launching equity crowdfunding campaign on Seeders next year to boost our marketing recognition. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Greg, for the presentation. Now I would like to ask the experts to write their questions here in the chat, and I will invite them to read them out. I see that we already received the first question. It's from Carolina. Carolina, would you like to turn on your microphone and ask it?
Sure. Thank you for your presentation, Greg. So my question is, what is the growth that you expect for this business in the terms of year-on-year basis? So how fast can you grow? Because I saw the to-date revenue, but what is the future projection?
Yeah, so thank you for your question, Carolina. Nice to see you. Yeah, we are still in a process of developing our system to its full range. We are working hard to land excellent product market fit, and we expect that after we land there, we will have venture capital style growth rates 2-3 times per year. This is our aim. We are very ambitious to it, and we will deliver.
So what is the revenue you expect next year?
Next year, we expect around 3.5 million.
In euros?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. I see that the next question is from Dominic. Dominic, would you like to turn on your microphone?
Yes, hello. You mentioned that your technology is patented in a way. Could you please tell us a little bit more about what this patent is about, and if this also would affect your competitors in terms of freedom to operate?
Yeah, so we patented modular vertical system, which allows us to use plants in a vertical way, but with blind spots between them. This patent is already granted. We already are preparing another patents for our IoT controller and our solution to monitor office environments.
Thank you. The next question comes from Minat. Would you like to turn on your microphone?
Yeah, we basically asked the same question simultaneously, so Greg already answered my question.
Okay, then Daniel from ET Digital.
Yeah, so while I would love to work in an office like you show in some of your picture, I wonder how you can convince your customer that this is something they really must have and not just a nice to have solution, or how you will be able to say it in the future, maybe when you have gathered some numbers. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I just tell you example how we work with NVIDIA. They are our recent customer. They ordered 3 floors in their Warsaw office with our solution, and when they launched whole process of selecting right greenery solution for their office, their main argument was to convince people to come back to the office after pandemic is over, and for them that was surely must-have product and not nice to have product.
Thank you, Greg, for answering this question. Unfortunately, we are out of time for questions, but I see that there is one from Manuel. So could you please, we will provide you with the questions after the session, and please follow up through our TechTrue platform. We have a message functionality, or write her directly here in the chat. Thank you very much for once again for presenting. The next presenter is Max from Constellar R.
Hello, good evening.
Hello.
So, is this visible to everybody?
Yes, the floor is yours.
Okay. Hello, I'm Max. We will need 50% more food by 2050 to feed roughly 10 billion people on this planet. How can we hope to achieve this without more agriculture area, with increasing water scarcity and under changing climatic conditions? My name is Max, I'm the CEO of Constellar, and to take on this challenge, agriculture must become more efficient. And what precision farming companies need for that is good temperature data, because food production is driven by water availability, and water availability is driven by temperature. The problem now is that existing temperature measurements systems are not fit for purpose. We currently have not a single existing source to retrieve temperature data at the required quality. Current solutions, such as weather stations or drones, either do not scale to cover 1.5 billion hectares every day, or do not operate in the right regime, as it's the case with today's satellites. Which means that right now, companies in the precision farming market, our customers, have no means to scale precision farming, precision agriculture globally. And this is what the world needs. Our solution can deliver the required temperature monitoring service at 3% of the cost of current systems. And we will distribute this affordable global service via our online data platform, Finder. We can deliver this data globally with a constellation of only 4 microsatellites for monitoring capacity comparable to the size of Germany's total agriculture area. This mini constellation is the vital intermediate step to scale up to a global mapping mission with around 30 satellites. Our patent-pending architecture brings high-precision temperature measurements to a microsatellite format. And at the heart lies our groundbreaking virtual calibration approach, which for the first time ever enables shoebox-sized microsatellites to record at large satellite temperature accuracy. Our service will disrupt the precision farming market. Without any sensing technology in the field, farmers can on average double the amount of crop yield per used water compared to traditional irrigation. And by detecting water need days to weeks earlier than with today's satellites, we improve food security also from the market side. But most importantly, our service will create entirely new markets. With our service, smart irrigation suddenly becomes available in developing countries, stimulating the economic growth in key regions to produce the majority of food, around 60%, in the near future. And that is something none of our competitors can do. They all must compromise on at least one of the core requirements, making us the only company to provide affordable temperature monitoring for agriculture and beyond. And none of them is in orbit today. We've just closed a €1 million pre-seed funding round, including a strategic investor, and signed the launch contract to bring our first system to orbit in 12 months from now. The subsequent Series A will enable us to provide our service daily and globally for a limited area, disrupting the €7 billion precision farming market. By constantly increasing coverage and later spatial resolution, we'll step by step penetrate new markets and will become the dominant provider for temperature-related services by the end of the decade. By then, we will own one of the most valuable Earth observation data sets in the world. As for any other constellation before us, grant funding is a key accelerator. Hence, we're currently applying for respective funding from ESA and the European Commission to boost our development. Following a somewhat more conservative growth trajectory as US companies with comparable business models, in this case Planet, we are confident to achieve break-even by 2027, a 7% market share with 9-digit revenues by 2028. However, at least equally important to what we are launching to space is what we keep on the ground. Our experienced leadership team and highly motivated employees combine the innovative strength, the industrial manufacturing quality, and our own startup drive to make this project a success. Marius, for example, is an experienced aerospace engineer, having worked for Airbus and Jenoptik before coming to Fraunhofer, and then in the end, Constellar. With his entrepreneurial background and having worked for Munich Re, Chris complements us with business administration and development skills. Cassie has been successfully growing and operating different digital businesses for years, and I hold a PhD in physics and led the data and mission science at Fraunhofer Space Program. And we are more than proud to be guided by a trusted, high-profile advisory board. So to sum up, Constellar will provide the temperature data required for global food security. With our current funding, we have a runway of 18 months and will launch our first orbital system in December next year. And it's already financed. And directly afterwards, we'll raise a €50 million Series A to start building the constellation to deliver data globally by 2024. So I would be very happy to make your acquaintance if I could raise your interest. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Max, for the presentation. You finished right on time. We already received the first 2 questions. They're from Matteo. Matteo, would you like to turn on your microphone and ask them?
Sure. Yeah, I was wondering what's your revenue model and what's the revenue breakdown? And if you could provide any clarification on the status of the patents. So you said they've been issued. Are you confident they're going to be granted? And what is the main claim protecting the solution?
Yeah, okay. Let's answer the second question first. So currently we have 3 patents pending. We have, let's say, positive feedback from the PCT process, or in this case, the European Patent Office, that it will be granted. We usually go first from national, then to international, and also national level usually is a good indication. So in this case, I don't foresee any troubles, and we are getting ready to. We have 3 more patents in the pipeline. Concerning the revenue model, what we're doing is we're selling data similar as Planet, similar as, for example, a Digital Globe or Maxstar now. And the idea is that we sell monitoring capacity for around €10, or for pretty much €10 per hectare a year. So if, let's say, BayWa wants to monitor 100,000 hectares over Germany in 1 year, then it would be, for a whole year, then it would be €1 million in revenue. That's the breakdown. Does this answer your question, Matteo?
It does on the revenue side, but what's the claim of the patents? That was not very clear.
Okay, sorry, the claim of the patent, sorry, I missed that one. The claim of the patent is it's all around miniaturization technology of the payload. So in the end of the camera and the data processing. So I'm not going into too much detail here, but I think the time would be too short. We can do this offline if you like.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. We have received also questions from Dominic.
Yes. Hello. Could you tell us a little bit more about the cost side of your product? Do you need the microsatellites of your own, or can you also use satellites from other companies where you just add your solution to it? And how many customers do you actually need to make it break even for each satellite?
Okay, yeah. So let's start with the satellite cost side. So we are going to be able to launch the MVP with around 80 million euros. So for the first 4 satellites, and then the price are going to drop to just above 3 million euro per satellite, including launch, insurance, and 3 years of operation. 3 years is the nominal, a bit conservative lifetime of one of the satellites. So we need to be able to bring in around ideally more than 3 million euro per satellite within 3 years. We assume that for breaking even, we will have somewhere around 70 to 80 customers, which are on average looking at 100 to 200,000 hectares per year. And that's, again, is a rather conservative approach, because some of the customers we are talking to are looking at several million of hectares, even if they are relatively small. Does this answer your question?
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you. We have time for one more quick question. I see that Daniel already asked some. Daniel, would you like to read your questions?
I thought that if I already asked one, you would take somebody else. So, okay, I can ask. I would like to know if measuring temperature, purely temperature, is enough for the purpose of improving precision agriculture. Like, wouldn't exposition to the sun, level of humidity in the air, status of the soil, also influence the output? And can you measure other parameters than just temperature?
Yes. So in the end, we're not measuring temperature directly, but we are measuring radiance and deriving temperature. So you're right. It needs a lot of other parameters like humidity, like soil, and many other things. So the variable you're actually after is not temperature directly, it's evapotranspiration. And for actual evapotranspiration, so the loss of water from plants and soil to the atmosphere, or the sum of this, you need good temperature data. And that's currently the bottleneck, because this temperature data is not available. So with all the other variables, we have them from Sentinel, we have them from ground station, from weather stations. What we're lacking is temperature data. And that's currently the bottleneck in why we can't process it. And that's the bottleneck we'd like to close, or we'd like to open, actually.
Thank you,
And
Max.
there was one more question.
We don't have time for any questions.
We need our own satellites. This was the answer. We need our own satellites due to the mission architecture. We can't piggyback right on other satellites.
Thank you very much for answering all of the questions. Now I would like to invite the next company to present. That is MClimate. Violetta, would you like to share your screen?
Hi, everyone. My name is Violetta, and I'm the CCO of MClimate. I'm just going to quickly share my screen. Can you see that okay?
Yes.
Perfect. So MClimate is an IoT company where we design and develop affordable, universally compatible smart home and smart building solutions. These solutions are hardware and software, so we can offer an end-to-end solution to the end customers. We were founded in 2015, and we have developed over 20 devices to date. Some of them have Wi-Fi connectivity, some of them have LoRaWAN connectivity, which I'm going to talk about later. We've reached over 70 markets to date, and we have raised 1.5 million to date. Our solution is easily controlled by an app available in over 20 languages, and the most often used features are energy savings and managing over 80% of the energy. The solutions are not only energy efficiency, there's also increased comfort, turning on lights, and others. And everything can be controlled via voice control with Alexa and Google Assistant. I'm going to briefly talk about the smart home range, because this is probably the one you're more familiar with. There is the energy efficiency solutions range, which controls boilers, radiators, anything ACs, anything in the building, and over 80% of the energy used. The home comfort range is cleaning robots and lights, and the security and monitoring is mostly sensors. This is a very small part of our business. The biggest part of our business, it's very new, and it started in 2019 with our first device, which was Vicky. It's a smart thermostatic valve that controls 60% of the heating in any building that has radiators. The common theme here is, one is the range of energy efficiency and control. This is actuators and sensors. The actuator, the difference between an actuator and sensor is that the actuator can actually receive data and control the device. So you don't need a wall thermostat and any cabling. Then there is also the flood and damage prevention, which was developed for a German utility to actually, it's a water management company as well, that installs those devices and can remotely shut off water in case of a leak or any problems. This can be residential and office as well. And our newest device, which we're still developing and it will be out by year end, is the air quality sensor and notifier. The difference between our device and others on the market that exist is, one, using LoRaWAN as a technology, and two, it also notifies the occupants that you need to ventilate a room, open a window, actually do something about the air quality in the room. So the data doesn't go back to a facility manager, it goes directly to the end users. So how is this different from all the smart building solutions out there? Wi-Fi is not a reliable technology to operate in large buildings. So LoRaWAN is the only one currently that has a very long operational range. So the range of the technology reaches 15 kilometers in suburban areas and 8 kilometers in busy cities where you have a lot of buildings. There is great indoor penetrations through multiple floors and also parking lots. It's very easily scalable solution, as you only need one gateway per building and not multiple gateways as in other technologies like Zigbee, Sigfox, and Z-Wave. And it allows you to have zero maintenance, basically with a long battery life of 10 years. The usual battery life is around 10 years, and the device uses low power in terms of its communication. So this allows you for no maintenance. So really, it's a low OPEX and low CAPEX solution. The minimum investment required is to have one gateway, all the sensors in the building, something for the IoT platform, and then there is no OPEX as you have limited maintenance requirement over time. And it's a free open source. How does the smart building solution work? We install the sensors and actuator which communicate with the gateway in question. That sends the data to a server, and the data from the server can either go to one of our customer-facing apps, it can go to facility management software, or it can go to any existing facility management software. So we're software agnostic. So our solution can rely on our software, or it can rely on anything else you have currently installed in the building to receive the data. We work with utilities, energy management companies, telecoms, building management, and construction providers. And we're looking to tap into insurance and integrators to expand our market. The market itself is quite big. For smart home alone, it's over 150 billion projected to be in 2023. And for smart buildings, it's even bigger, as there's currently a lot of funding available for Green Deal projects in Europe. How we're different from the competition? We're based in the EU with a manufacturing plant here. The solution is easily deployable and scalable, so agnostic to any building and software type. And we have a team with existing capabilities in R&D and LoRaWAN connectivity. I think I ran out of time to tell you more about the use cases. So that probably will stay for the Q&A part.
Thank you very much, Violeta, for the presentation. Now, dear experts, please write your questions here in the chat, and I will invite you to read them loud. Meanwhile, we received already the first question from Carolina. Carolina, would you like to turn on your microphone?
Thank you very much for your presentation. So my question is, what are your technological advantages over your competition? Because you showed us the slide, but there you mentioned things like cheaper labor, shorter manufacturing lead time, but nothing really about the technology, mostly operational advantages. So do you have anything unique or innovative in the technology itself?
So LoRaWAN is a technology that anyone can use, so any sensor or actuators provider. The unique thing is that we're the only one on the market currently with an actuator. So most of the companies provide sensors that just read the data and send it to backend software. What we can do with our devices is that we also control the device, like a radiator, for example. So it's not just sensing the data, but we also offer control. LoRaWAN itself is publicly open, so anyone can use that technology similarly to Wi-Fi. So on the technology side, there is nothing innovative. We're just using something that's new on the market, but very mature. More innovative is the way that the devices communicate. So you don't need any cabling or a wall thermostat to receive data and manage your consumption.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Next question comes from Marcel.
Yes, I was wondering, what are your financial needs? I didn't see so much of your financials. What are your financial needs and what are the ROIs?
So financial needs, we estimate we need 3 to 4 million for the next 3 years to grow on the smart building side. Mostly 80% of it will be spent on smart buildings. It's more to roll out projects in the Green Deal consortiums. So most of the cities we're currently in discussions with in the EU would have huge projects with over 100 buildings that would require 15% initial funding from the partners in the deals. And then this will be reimbursed by the EU. So part of the funding really goes into us being able to compete on the market. And we've already installed our solution in over 120 buildings in the European Union. So we have the use case proven. And it's just like going for more projects that require funding.
And what is your business model? How are you earning your money?
So the business model is, 1 is selling hardware, 2 is selling hardware and software, so the complete solution, and 3 is only selling the software as a white label. So there's a few options for most of the telecoms and utilities we work with. Don't even say that they work with us. We have offered a white label solution in a few countries where people wouldn't even know it's our company, but we developed the hardware and the software, the client-facing app or the enterprise solution.
Who's producing the hardware?
Sorry, and?
Who will produce the hardware?
We produce it.
Okay, you produce it yourself.
Yeah, we produce the hardware in Bulgaria. We have a few of the parts produced here, a few of the parts from China, but the manufacturing facility is here, so everything is assembled and manufactured in Bulgaria.
And can you tell me something on the return on investment?
Our projections or return on investment for a customer?
For the investor.
For the investor, okay. So for the investor, depending on the funding we get, it's our projections for next year is a 5-fold increase in revenues, and we are already breaking on this year with this solution. So I will get back to you for the next 5 years plan, because probably the return on investment it's something we're still working on.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Violeta, for answering all of the questions. We're unfortunately out of time. So I would like to give the opportunity to the next presenter. This is Anne Rudy from Redrose Developments. Hi, Anne, you're on mute.
Hi, yes, good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
And thank you for the opportunity. I'm looking to share the screen.
Yeah.
And is that sharing now?
Yes, just a second. Yes, could you please make it full screen?
Yeah, will do. Terribly slow. We've got a major storm outside, so my apologies.
No problem. Okay, we see it full screen, so the floor is yours.
Yes, so if you're ready, I'll start. And good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for this opportunity. My name is Anne Ruddy from Redrose Developments, and I'm all about the seaweed. And I'm going to propose a sustainable, scalable solution to the supply chain for the increased demand in seaweed. Seaweed is growing at a rate of over 10% per year and is set to continue in sectors such as food, feed, fertilizer, and so much more. However, there's a problem that increasing demand puts pressure on the biomass. 90% of Irish seaweed sales comes from wild stock, and this model is unsustainable. There's a lack of resource management, and the harvesters are aging and declining in number. There are other considerations means that seaweed decays within hours, and today's production methods of freezing or drying means that there's a loss of 70% of the raw material. Cultivation is absolutely necessary, but it is expensive, and there is a bottleneck in the processing. And here we have the Redrose solution. We intend to have modulated units located close to source, working with our harvesters on owner-operator systems, creating a franchise model. We'll retain 100% of the material. It's fully sustainable. The outputs will give us liquid and solid seaweed, both of which are mineral and nutrient rich and targeted for specific markets, creating a circularity. And as I say, the franchise model offers sustainability, flexibility, and social responsibility. The modulated unit will be designed based on dairy of separating milk, and it'll be fixed into a shipping container. The outputs will be quality validated and homogenized from a number of these units up and down the coastline in a number of countries. The founding team includes Sven, who is our expert in franchise. He knows how to replicate models and has worked with many high street brands. Vincent is a fertilizer expert. Myself, I'm a serial entrepreneur, and we have a team of expert advisors guiding us and directing us in many sectors. The bigger picture means that seaweed is growing in phenomenal areas, including deep tech technology, and we can use it in biopolymer going forward. The revenue streams from the harvester's perspective and the reason for them wanting to get involved as owner operators means that they can generate profitable and good solid jobs for the future, for the next generation. With them making profit, it means that Redrose will make profit. We will charge franchise fees, but we have a contract to buy the stock, both liquid and solid form, which we will target into specific markets. The liquid would go into fertilizer and soil conditioners, and note one of our team members is a fertilizer expert. We know that it's needed. 55% of seaweed sales is in liquid form. The solid can go into the food sector, into the animal feed sector, even pharmaceutical. And at the lower end, although volume is needed, for the biopolymer and biofuel. We've spoken to a number of large companies in the cosmeceutical, pharmaceutical, seaweed fertilizers, and a number of other sectors. People like this model. They can see the sustainability element, but also the replicability to reach the scale that we need to reach. We've been acknowledged, although we're very early stage, by accelerator programs and have been on 4 this year. Of course, we're not without competition, and there are many very large players in the market and more coming on board. The larger companies are not all cultivating, which is where we need to be. But their management of the wild stock is not fully appreciated, whereas Redrose, we sustainably process the wild stock, we do get engaged with seaweed cultivation, and we have no harsh chemicals. Our milestones means that we have our cultivation license, we can grow seaweed, we know how to do that, we know how to process it, we know how to extract. The vision going forward is that we'll have a pilot unit close to source, which is important to retain those minerals, and we will roll that out over the coming years. We've raised 250,000 by bootstrapping so far. We're looking to raise 1.8 million with a forecast of profit in year 3 and return on investment by year 5. The spend over the 5 years will be predominantly on sales and marketing, but in the early years, it'll be developing those pilot units. That's it, a scalable, sustainable supply chain to meet the growing demand for seaweed. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you very much, Anne. We already received the first question. That is from Marcel. Marcel, would you like to ask it?
Yeah, I'm very sorry to ask this question, but can you please explain me once more what is exactly your business model?
The business model is to create these modulated units, which will be located close to the shore, working with harvesters who have legal access to the seaweed, where they will process modest quantities.
Okay, so you're those who are harvesting the seaweed, you're helping those people.
We're helping ourselves because we're helping them by creating a higher value chain at source. When I cultivated, and the line at sea was well over a ton in weight when it was lifted from the ocean. By the time it got to the processing plant to dry it, which was some 4 hours drive away, that biomass had reduced down to 321 kilos. By the time it was dried, I ended up with 62. So we've lost so much of those nutrients and minerals.
So it's in the processing of the seaweed after when it's harvested?
Absolutely. At the point of harvest, close to the ocean, it's a small footprint, so we can have lots of multiple units, each processing small amounts, making it sustainable.
What's the return on investment?
We're looking at, I think it was a 5-fold multiple. I'm hesitating simply because I'm very new to this game of investment and putting the proposition forward. The financial model, which I'm happy to share with you later, is to look at the 5-fold. But it's not my area of expertise, so my apologies.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. The next question comes from Carolina.
Thank you very much for your presentation, Anne. I think you partly answered my question while answering Marcel's one, but I wonder how specifically this processing unit works. You mentioned somewhere on the slides that this is a bioreactor. So what is the technology inside it?
A lot of that is proprietary knowledge, and we're not sharing the methodology. The process is based on how they separate milk in liquid and whey. Okay, so it's based on that, but the key element and our proprietary knowledge is all around how we pre-treat and post-treat the outputs.
And do you use any solvents?
I can't tell you what we use because that's covered, but it's how we break down the cellular structure, because the whole idea of this is that it stretches over the seasons. Whereas at the moment, when you cultivate, everything comes to fruition at the same time, and that's why there is this bottleneck in process. By having small, elegant processing systems that can cope with a range of seaweed stock, they will have slightly different methodologies in terms of how we treat that stock and get the best possible outcomes. So what we want at the end is this nutrient-rich liquid. Let's say we were targeting that at the fertilizer sector. We will identify what nutrients they specifically need, make sure that those fall into the liquid, that which is left, which will have a number of other minerals and good stuff, which we can target potentially at animal feed or the human food chain.
Okay, thank you.
Using techniques that are fit for purpose to process and get the best possible outcomes.
Thank you very much, Anne. We're unfortunately out of time, but we have one more question, so we will provide you with this question after the session, and you can answer it through our platform.
Okay. Thank you once again.
You're welcome. We reached the end of our session. Thank you everyone for joining us today. Now my colleague will share with you the link for the feedback survey. Please share with us your impressions, because your opinion is important for us and will help us improve us for future sessions. And dear participants, please don't forget to answer the requests for the one-to-one meetings. We have one-to-one meetings tonight, tomorrow's night, and the whole day on Friday. Thank you once again for joining us today.
Nice.
We can